How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Switchstars. My name's Luke, and today on the channel I'm bringing you a quick little review for a great time-filling puzzle game called Tents and Trees, which comes to us from French indie developer Francois Gilbert and the team over at Frozak Games. And this one takes inspiration from staples of the puzzle genre such as Picross, Nonograms, and even Windows OG Daddy-O Minesweeper. And it looks simple, but trust me when I say that your brain is in for a right workout with this one. So drop a like, subscribe for more Nintendo Switch reviews and content, and let's check it out. So like I said, Tents and Trees takes influence from a number of different puzzle classics, and I don't believe that the concept of this puzzle game is entirely of their own creation, but this version originally released on mobile where it saw a ton of success and has now been ported to the Switch for more of us to enjoy. Getting into the game though, you run through a series of very simple starter puzzles to teach you the basics, and the rules in this one are actually quite simple, but it's definitely one of those that is easy to pick up but hard to master. The basic concept is this though. Each of the game's puzzles is comprised of a grid which ranges from a 4x4 at the lowest end all the way up to a massive 15x15 at the top end, and within each of these grids are placed trees which look like little green melting popsicles. But your objective is simple. Place down a tent next to each tree according to the numbers running around the outside of the grid, each of which indicates how many tents should be placed within that row or column. And tents can only be placed either vertically or horizontally next to trees, not diagonally, cannot be situated next to one another, and there can only be one tent per tree. In order to narrow things down, you're also able to place down patches of grass to rule out certain squares, such as those along zero columns or rows, diagonally from trees, or completely out the way. And in the beginning this really helps, but as you work your way into the harder levels, your reliance on these will lessen and you'll really have to start using your powers of deduction and a little bit of trial and error to get the job done. Now I consider myself to be pretty decent at puzzle games, especially those requiring logical deduction, and so I was able to fly through the easy levels in this game, completing most of the 4x4s and 5x5 grids in less than a minute. But they definitely get you into the swing of things, allowing you to slowly discover more efficient ways of solving them, or methods for narrowing down your options further to increase the speed at which you solve them. Each one that you solve though rewards you with a mastery point indicated by this crown icon, and each milestone that you complete unlocks both larger sized grids for you to tackle, as well as hard mode versions or those with missing numbers, further increasing the challenge. But in total there are around 500 different puzzles for you to conquer, each of them handcrafted, so no repeating puzzles. Now after breezing my way through the early levels, I then went ahead and attempted to solve both the 8x8 and 10x10 hard variants, and multiple times I got so close to cracking them, but 10 minutes deep and I was still struggling to narrow down exactly where to place my last few trees. So there's definitely a learning curve with this one, and I can imagine that the 15x15 square puzzles take upwards of an hour to solve for most people, so plenty of hours worth of puzzling to get stuck into. If you're really struggling though, you can always bring a friend or three on board to lend a helping hand, as the game allows up to 4 players to work together on puzzles in local co-op mode. And in addition to the hundreds of puzzles which come pre-packaged with the game, there are also new daily puzzle packs for you to tackle which refresh every 24 hours, a few different themes to unlock, and a bunch of different achievements to work towards. So all in all there's a decent amount of content with this one, and I'm sure that somewhere down the line the developers will also look at releasing some additional DLC for it. Altogether though, an incredibly simple but devilishly tricky puzzle game which will no doubt serve you well as a time filler title. And there's not much to speak about on the audio and visual front, but it does have some calming tunes to play along to, and I could definitely see myself dipping in and out this one to burn a few minutes or even a couple of hours whilst travelling. Today though, for a rating, I'm giving Tents and Trees 4 out of 5 stars. And you can no doubt pick up a bunch of different Tents and Trees clones on your mobile, but this is the first of its kind on the Switch, and I'd say it's well suited to the handheld platform. With that said though, let me know if you're a fan of these kind of puzzle games and whether you're going to be picking this one up in the comments section below, If you enjoyed the review, be sure to drop a like as it really helps out the channel, and if you enjoy my content but are not yet subscribed and are looking for more Nintendo Switch reviews and coverage, please consider doing so. Until next time though, thanks once again for watching, take care of yourselves, and game on.